Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of Thirsty Topics. Hi, Wonder.
Hey, Lawrence, how are you, my friend?
I am doing great. How about you?
I'm great, man. Just been really, really busy in a good way, getting in some good trouble, as they say. So I've been doing some really good trouble stuff. And what
Good,
about
good.
you?
You know what? Same thing. It's been a very busy week. Today slowed down a little bit, but like you, busy in a good way, so I cannot complain at all.
Oh my goodness. So we got a lot to talk about, coming back to reality with these thirsty topics.
Yes, we do. And I'm going to start off with a sizzling one here. Well, Meta was ordered to pay $567 million over harm to children.
Mm.
So, a New Mexico judge has ruled that Meta helped fuel the state's youth mental health crisis through the design of Facebook and Instagram, finding that the company created a public nuisance and ordering it to pay $567 million for treatment and prevention programs. Now, the judge goes on to say that those features contributed to higher rates of depression, anxiety, self harm, eating disorder, and suicide risk among young people. The court also found that the platform contributed to child sexual exploitation and put added pressure on schools, law enforcement, and New Mexico's mental health system.
Mm.
Well,
Wow.
Wanda, what do you think?
Man, you know what? When I first heard this about them being ordered to pay $567 million because of the harm to the children. And my first thought was, it's about time. It's about time that somebody is holding um, uh, these social media companies accountable because kids are vulnerable, and you making it easy almost kind of remind me of cigarettes,
Mm-hmm.
the warning, about allowing the kids to be able to smoke the cigarettes. But yeah, this is really, it goes deep because not only is this causing everything you just read, the suicide, the depression, it's affecting them in school. Now, Pritzker for Illinois, the governor, finally signed a bill, no phones. They did it back in Tennessee as well. So it's about time they're holding them accountable.
Yeah, I agree. And this issue with social media, especially Meta, has been talked about for a long time.
Yeah.
And I would not be surprised if other states started going after them as well,
Yeah.
because we all know how powerful those algorithms are. And we've all been on social media. You look at something, and next thing you know, you get 1,000 ads for what you're looking at. Or if you look at a certain type of post, you get a whole bunch of more posts just like that. So,
Yeah.
which means that if they're looking at something that they shouldn't be or something negative, they get probably, I'm assuming, a lot of that negative stuff coming back at them. So I think this is going to be a good thing all around.
Oh, absolutely. And the fact I can remember uh, moving back to Chicago for my daughter, and I remember my grandson watching. Uh, it was something on YouTube. She blocked him from even getting on YouTube. Well, after she passed away, her friend came over, and we were just sitting around just talking. It was a play date for my grandson and her son. They watching Mario. Then all of a sudden, Mario says the F word.
Mm.
So you're right with these algorithms, one video from another, and before you know it, it starts off innocent, and then it goes into something. Oh my God, you
It's true.
know.
That's
So
true.
yeah, it has been going on for a long time. Yeah,
Do you
and I'm,
think
I'm
that?
just glad the court is doing something about it. But go ahead, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
Oh, no, no, I was going to ask, do you think that this ruling is going to lead to some changes on social media?
I don't know, but the mere fact that it's even brought up, it would
Mm.
allow, and then a platform like ours and so many other platforms that are talking about it could definitely possibly, gear people up, or make the parents more aware that this is going on, because most people let their kids be babysat.
True.
These media sites, and I remember a 1 year old baby, 2 year old. He was 2 years old. A grandchild of of this lady I knew, and the baby just sitting down, 2 years old, scrolling, just scrolling.
Hmm.
Two.
Yes, yes.
And so many, and not just the children. You got people. You better be careful with your relationships up at midnight on these doggone computers. But for the children, it's really, as adults, they are set in their ways. But as for children, man, they are impressionable.
Hmm.
Uh, you know, easily swayed. And what I had to tell my grandson, you better be careful of the people that you're talking to, because they can track you. I've heard a situation where people have actually come to people's homes. They have picked up, they've kidnapped kids. They found them in a whole nother state. Yeah,
You
so
know,
they need to be held accountable. Something,
oh
I'm
yeah.
not exactly sure, because I'm not the computer person, IT person, what can be done to prevent that. Because if the parents are at home and not watching the kids, and they're in their room, the kids are in their room all day, they may come up for a little snack.
Yeah, and the interesting thing, Wander, is that as a parent, it is very difficult to keep your children off certain sites because the minute you take them off one site, they find a way to get around it, or there's another one that pops up that the parent finds out after the fact. It's almost like this unwinnable war where you think you conquered this, and the next thing you know, you're dealing with this over here. So,
Exactly.
growing up, obviously our parents didn't have to deal with social media because, growing up, it didn't exist when I grew up. So, and when I
Yeah.
grew up, we were outside playing. We didn't
Right.
want to be in the house.
Being
Where now,
constructive.
youth today is the total opposite. It's like
It's a
fighting to
total,
get them to go outside.
it's the total opposite. And everything about the internet is not bad.
Right. That's
It's
true.
about the power of choice and parental guidance and all that. Because as a former teacher, we had a student. I won't call it. He's grown now. More likely, he's grown, because this was many, many years ago. But he was. We were warned to be careful letting him, because he was so innocent, right? Innocent
Mhm.
looking. So we were warned to be careful, because he'll get on the computers. Well, he was in the library. Most school libraries, you got rows of computers. So as a reward, he was able to go to the library. Well, he got banned out of the library because he was on porn sites. I don't even know how he broke. I don't even know how he broke the code, because the school system have a code. He was just that smart to break the code. But he wasn't wise enough to know that people could stand behind you, and the computer he was on. Come on, the librarian's desk was on the other side.
Well, here's another secret that most students don't know. They probably figured it out by now. Is there are people watching when you're on the internet at school. Um, I
I didn't
remember
know
when my
that.
my son was in school. This is when he was in high school, and there was an incident happened where the police was involved because I guess there was an adult pretending to be a child trying to meet up with a student. And the way they
Okay.
found out was that IT got a hold of the police department and arrested the person. So anything that you're doing on the school monitor is being watched. They may not see it right then and there, but it is being watched.
Well, newsflash, we're on our computers. I remember when analog TVs were going out, and then everybody was throwing away their picture tubes
Mm-hmm.
for the TV. And I remember getting a new TV. I was all excited. The guy said, "Well, I'll tell you what. As soon as they switch over to this from the analog, I'm going to throw a sheet over my TV, because have you ever noticed your TV will pop back on by itself?" I
No,
was going to bed one time. My TV, I took the remote and I hit off, and it closed up just like that. I'm heading to the bedroom. Next to my living room is illuminated again. The remote is over there. The TV came back on by itself. So, so this can get real deep here, for
See,
real, for real. But when he said that, he said, I'm gonna put a sheet over my TV when I go to bed at night. I said, oh my God. So yeah, so it's very interesting where we are with technology today.
yes, it is. And that actually walks into our next subject. In fact, I have to admit, this is probably my best topic out of everything because I'm a big UFO buff here. But
Okay.
on Friday, August 7th, the military released the fifth round of UFO videos. So the military released the fifth batch of declassified, unidentified anomalous phenomena (UAP) files. The drop includes 41 new records featuring sensor videos, historical memos dating back to 1950, and FBI or artist renderings of witness accounts. In the 2002 Afghanistan Triangle, which includes an artistic rendering and pilot report of a massive dark triangular object that reportedly blocked out the stars over the airbase in Afghanistan. This is one of many that was released. So, I guess my thing is, I wonder why all of a sudden they're releasing all this new video now. Because it used to be a point where the government never talked about it.
They
What
never
do you
talked
think is
about it.
going on, Wonder?
You know what? Pick a situation, pick an answer. I don't. We really don't. And it is so depressing when you are watching the news um on, I don't know, is it a distraction? Because as you said, they've been talking about stuff all. Is it a distraction? I don't know if it's a distraction, and it's really really hard to pinpoint what this government that we're in right now, the heads of this government right now, who knows what's going on with them and their reason. Is it to cover up because there's so much other stuff that's going on?
Mhm.
And it is a very good point because they have been mom's word. The military, you don't see them talking about that all the time. And then if you do, you're crazy. Somebody talk about, oh, I saw a UFO. Yeah, what was you drinking? What was you smoking? Yeah, yeah. So on that, it's a little different. It's a little different.
I think it's
God.
a combination of both. I think one, you know, are they preparing us for something that's coming? That's the one thing. And secondly, I do agree that some of it may be as a distraction to other things that's going on in the world today. So I truly believe it's a combination of both. But I truly believe that even though we're in a crazy time right now, I think that the country and the world is ready to hear that we're not alone. I really do. I don't think the world
Well, that
ready
that
to
is
think
that's
they're gonna. You know, what do you think? You think we're ready for
well,
that
you.
conversation?
I definitely think it is. It's a never ending. We could talk about this forever. I remember watching what's that, Unsolved Mysteries.
Yes.
They had a lot of stories about people seeing UFOs and
Mhm.
these aliens and all this other stuff. And that's when the government was really hush hush about what's going on scientifically. Um, I certainly believe God is a God of the universe, and just like we Earthlings, we're not, or just like certain people think that they are the only ones, religious people, there's certain religions think that they're going to be the only ones to go to heaven. You got all these people that want to say that I am the only one. This is a wide world. And remember the movie Aliens?
Mhm.
That was a really, I'm not even into science fiction, but that movie, I didn't look at it because of the monster, because I don't like to be scared. I don't like to be on edge like that. But when I watched that movie and saw how the Earthlings were trying to go and I forget what planet it was because I really wasn't into it that much. But they were trying to find build uh, life on these colonies. So they had to, and I'm going like, oh my God. I would hear my mother talk about the conspiracy theories. The earth is going to be blown up, the blah, blah, blah. Man going to mess up so bad. That's why they're going up into the earth trying to figure out, could you actually live up there? Because they're destroying the earth. But I just don't believe that because the heaven and earth will pass away, as I say, we'll pass away, but heaven and earth will never pass away. So no matter what human beings try to do, I definitely believe the longer we are around, and we have, just have an open mind.
Hmm.
Nothing is absolute. No thing or nothing is absolute. So we
It's
don't
true.
just. Christopher Columbus thought the world was flat. The
It's true.
world was America was here. He discovered America. America was already here.
Hmm.
So so it just goes like that about being open minded and be willing to learn something different and maybe something that's out of the box.
Yeah. I think if you like aliens, I think you should see this movie. It's called
I don't
Disclosure.
like it.
Oh,
I don't know how I went to that movie. Maybe it was a date. I don't know what it was.
well, you know what? If you have an open mind, see the movie Disclosure. I don't know if it's still in
Disclosure.
theaters. Disclosure. It's actually a new movie that just came out recently. I watched it. I actually loved it, and it dives deep into the day that everyone says and openly says we're not alone. And I don't want to give away too much in case because you haven't seen it, but I think you would really like it. You will be surprised. You will like it. I think you
Well,
will.
I'm at a point in my life that especially working with elderly people. Man, I love working with elderly people. I love learning. I love knowledge, and I love hearing live history
Hmm.
before the dementia hits in. Right, and I'm just in awe when I hear these people talk about I have some clients I've had they're white and they live on the south side of Chicago. I'm like, whoa. And I can just picture when they talk about 79th Street.
Hmm.
It looks so different today. What's Longwood in that area? One of the ladies I took care of, she was there. She went to Lady of as a Catholic girls' school, Our Lady of Academy or something like that. But she went to that school. I'm like, oh, one of my girlfriend, real good friends, went to that school. She graduated from that school. So it's just amazing. I love hearing history, and I love hearing it from the original person, and they can tell you about. That's why we can't put our elderly people away. And so when I hear the different stories, man, I just go like, oh my God, I want to be able, and that's why it's so important for what I do to leave a legacy, man, to let people know, you know, wow, this was so interesting. And you just learn something, you go like, oh wow, I never knew that. You're never too old to learn. And they're 80s and they're 90s. So I still got some time left, to learn some things. So I don't want to be closed minded.
Yeah, I think once you get to the point where you stop learning, um, that's when I think you go downhill as a person. You
Yeah.
always have to be learning. Just like people talk about, physical health, you also
Yeah.
have to have good mental health too. And you
Oh,
have to
absolutely.
exercise your mind as well too.
Yeah, that goes hand in hand, like peanut butter and jelly. Yeah. So that's where that is with that subject. Okay.
Well, my next subject here is really a troubling subject. Um, and actually, if you want, Wanda, I'll let you go ahead and start it off. This is about the 29-year-old in Mississippi.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Let's do that. Wow. Yeah. That when I read that was deep. That was really deep. Oh wow. Yeah. Brace yourself. Okay. This, like you said, it's a heartbreaking story about the death of a 29-year-old young lady, Tassia Fortune, has shaken people across the country. Tassia, a black woman and a mother of four, was found hanging from a tree behind a vacant home in Jackson, Mississippi on August the 3rd. And I want to begin by saying that Talia Fortune was more than just a headline. She was a daughter, she was a mother, a sister, a woman whose life mattered. Four children have lost their mother, and the family is now grieving while searching for answers. And at this time, we must be careful about repeating rumors, declaring exactly what happened before all the evidence is available. And an autopsy have been conducted, but authorities have not yet announced the official manner of the death, and the investigation remains open. Boy, you going back to the temperature in the atmosphere. Why? I know why. I kind of know why. Are we going backwards in time? To that's a symbol and a signal of promise of things to come. We better open our eyes up to. I couldn't even imagine my daughter being hung, and whoever did that, God knows who did it, and whoever did that, oh my God, mm, that this is just a tough subject to be in 2026, and somebody is hanging from a tree in Mississippi a week ago.
You know,
Go
the
ahead.
thing that's really troubling is that it would be one thing if this is a one-off type story, but this has happened multiple times in Mississippi. And then we talk about the incident with the young man maybe a couple of weeks ago. We talked about going out on the boat with his friends,
Yeah,
and I want to be careful. I don't want to make any accusations or anything, but
sure.
this is very troubling that you're starting to see this pattern, and it's
Absolutely.
not a good pattern, and you
History
cannot
repeating
ignore it.
itself.
It can't be ignored, and something has to be done. Something needs to be looked at because these things seem to be happening a lot in Mississippi. Again, I don't want to make any assumptions or anything, but you can't really ignore what's going on either.
You know what? I want to say this too. Tabitha, I mean, uh, Taisha, is it Taisha? Taisha? Taisha, maybe it's Taisha, it's spelled a little different. Taisha's mother said firmly that she does not believe that her daughter took her own life. She described Taisha as a strong minded, loving, full of laughter, and at peace. When they last saw her, her family, they said when they last saw her. So her family said that she was in good spirits. She was a firm person. So this is the other thing, like it's history repeating itself. What happened back in slavery? When what they did doing the Willie Lynch. You know about the Willie Lynch letter. And some of the racist people would take, they say he taught them this pattern. You take the bitchiest of the women, you tie her up with two horses opposite of each other, tar her down and put feathers on her, right? Then you beat the hell out of the horses and they just rip the body apart. You do this in front of the people so you can bring the fear. That's why, remember back in the day, our mothers and grandma, boy, don't you go outside. Don't be at the don't let the darkness catch you out there. It's fear. And that's what it appears to be now coming back. History is repeating itself with fear. And then then someone else leads the narrative to say what happened to her because she can't speak for herself. Just like the young man Nolan, what's his Nolan? Boy, I've been reading about that boy. I just the guy Nolan
I believe
that
his
was in Miss
last name was Wells, I think.
Nolan Wells.
Yeah.
Yeah, same state.
Hmm.
It's something.
Same coroner too.
Wow,
Yeah.
wow.
Again, I don't
No,
want to make any
something right.
assumptions, but there's a
I
lot of
tell you what,
similarities there.
brother. It's a whole lot more I could say, man. But yeah, something ain't right. And I don't care how clean the house look. If I smell a dead rat, something ain't right. No, no, no. Something's not right with that picture. And And I think what's happening in society now is it's almost like the powers that be appear to um, want to, like I say, bring back the past and then make everything okay. There's something going on. There's some hiding going on. And just like with any other instigator, what an instigator would do, they would do things to distract the people. They would try to distract you. So there's a lot of distractions going on. Do they want us to be numb to this? We would never be numb to this.
No.
We are not our grandparents. We are not the people that were enslaved. We're just not. So it's not going to be pretty. The outcome, if it continues to go this way, the outcome is not going to be pretty. And there seems to be something that somebody in the atmosphere wants to happen anyway, to continue to cover up corruption. But the God in heaven, Psalm 58 talks about that. He sees everything that's going on. And we got to be patient. It's going to be some sacrificial lambs. When I say sacrificial lambs, some innocent people are already dying. And
Hmm.
we ain't seen nothing yet.
Now, you know, it also makes you wonder too that when we started talking about police brutality, especially after the George Floyd incident, and people were asking, well, is the brutality happening more now? And I was one to say, I don't think so. I think everyone has a camera now. Technology is different now. But I think the same thing is true for the incidents in Mississippi and other places where they having these issues is that now you have a lot more people on the internet. You have a lot more people that have, you know, everyone has a smartphone now, and the
Yeah,
smartphone has a camera. So a lot more things are coming to light now.
yeah.
So it's really difficult to hide things like this because of the information highway and everything that we have going on. And I think that though this is sick and horrific, it needs to be told. So this way, we not
Oh,
only bring it to the
absolutely.
top, but we also keep it from happening again and again, and maybe even getting worse. So it's very important to talk about these stories because sometimes
Absolutely.
people just don't know what's going on. Because if you're in
Yeah,
another part of the country, you may not hear what's going on over here. So I think it's important not only for our platform, but even other platforms.
yeah.
You know, when you see things like this, to talk about it, bring it to the light so everyone knows what's going on.
Absolutely. And just to even take this a little further, it is not all people, because you got good and white, black, Asian, whatever color, male, females. You got good and bad in all of these ethnic backgrounds, right? One thing that I'm finding out, even going back to slavery, it took white people. It was certain white people that came and joined in to be able to see that it wasn't just us calling a race card. It wasn't just and not even that. There are more things that are happening now with these evil leaders that are out here, people that's in these high positions. They are doing the same taxes that they did on black people back in the day. They're doing it on white people now. So they're not even discriminating. And so, therefore, more people who had never seen this type of behavior, we're not new to it. We are aware. We've been there. It's some people now, they are flabbergasted that this type of thing can happen. We already knew it could happen. So, in a way, it's really a good thing that more people are speaking out and speaking up. I'm watching the different national news stations, and a lot of white people are being interviewed, and they are jumping ship. They did not ask for what's going on in our society today. So it's not. I want to make sure I say this because this is not a black and white platform. This is about what's right and wrong.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I agree.
Wow. But yeah, that's that. I can't even imagine. You know. the things and all of the missing kids, African American kids, that's no one has ever talked about. And it takes a few to bring to the light, like Nolan Wells, and then this young lady, because I mean, whoa, it was another college student here in Illinois, downstate. I believe it was last 2025. I think they he was hung.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, so
We
yeah,
definitely
so
pray
then no,
for the
it was just not
family,
a.
and it's important to.
And what black? Let me stop. Go ahead.
No, no, I was just going to say that it's important for platforms like ours and others to keep these stories in the forefront and talk about them when they come up.
Absolutely, absolutely, brother, absolutely. Mm.
Well, just when we thought there wasn't any more conversations about ICE, Wonder, tell us what's new.
Oh my God. Oh my God. All right. Now, just in the news recently, a day or two ago, ICE plans to spend 10 to 20 million dollars on thousands of specialized gloves that can deliver a painful electrical shock when activated and pressed directly against someone's skin. The devices are called gloves. GLOVE is an acronym for that. Meaning generated low output voltage emitter. These gloves are intended to force compliance during physical confrontations. The proposal no bid contract could run through March 2027. Civil rights advocates are deeply concerned because the shock can be administered discreetly and potentially abused. Okay? And then the manufacturers warn that the gloves should not be used as punishment or against children, pregnant women, elderly people, or people with disabilities. So the accurate word is ICE is preparing to purchase and distribute them, but reports do not establish that ICE agents is already wearing them. So we don't even know if they're already wearing them. Talk about a bad atmosphere. Talk about possibly starting the actual revolution. Do you think people gonna sit there and then to do it discreetly? We already know the background and the unscrupulous behavior that ICE has already displayed. So to put a toy in their hand, because it's a toy to them, to put a toy in their hands and to disarm somebody just by touching them with that glove, this is going to start a real civil unrest. And I pray it doesn't happen. One thing I just believe that you could talk all that you want to talk, because remember, this also goes into what we talked about a few weeks back with these warehouses. Could you imagine them zapping people with these and throwing them in these containers and never hear from them again? So this is going right in hand, or the plan of them putting all kinds of people that is not in agreement with what's going on, to throw them into and these electronic shockers. Man, what if somebody have an accident? I mean, have a heart attack, go into a seizure, convulsion. You're putting this in, and then the other thing, you're talking about untrained individuals. Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead. Oof.
But what's interesting to me is how they're buying these gloves.
Mm-hmm.
They're the same organization that, for whatever reason, can't answer the question is why doesn't all ICE officers wear a camera?
And yeah, yeah,
It's the
yeah,
same organization. So you can't get the cameras, but you can get these specialized gloves.
because they got a
And,
plan. They're planning something. I'm sorry.
and I hope I'm wrong, but I can't see how this is not going to be abused based on what we've seen in the past.
Already.
So I hope I'm wrong, but I think that this is going to get abused pretty bad. And I think what's going to happen, and again, I hope I'm really wrong, is when you look at a person, you don't know their medical history. What if
No,
that person has heart issues or they're dealing with other medical issues? A lot of times you can't see that.
no.
So you zap them thinking you're doing something great, and the next thing you know, they're dead.
Who
You can't.
authorized it? Again, it just I don't even mean to cut you off because this really when I first saw this took me to a whole and I'm a writer, I'm creative. That's over a cliff.
Yep.
My thoughts, I couldn't even fathom. There's nothing about them getting electronic gloves, spending $20 million when people can't even eat.
Mhm.
Not to mention with all the other disservices, the services being cut, and now you want to go and torture people because that's going to be torture.
And you know the
These
crazy,
men are not even trained properly.
you know, and you know the crazy thing, Wander, is I'm really careful when I put topics on our show,
Yeah,
and for some people that hear this and go, "This is crazy. This isn't no, it's real. It's
no,
very."
it's real.
And I did
It's been
research.
verified. Yeah, it was on the world news.
Yes, it was. And the thing that's really surprising to me, and I don't know if this is something we should be concerned at about Americans, is that when you look at what ICE does, and again, I don't want to put every ICE agent in this category, but there's a lot of questionable ICE agents, and you kind of wonder what kind of person are you to do this to another human being?
Look at what happened on January the 6th.
Hmm.
That will never be erased.
No,
Look at the
no,
behavior, and then you look at the behavior of these people, especially when they were wearing masks.
true, true.
I remember the first time I saw them in my neighborhood. I was on my way to a meeting. It was at the Holiday Inn,
Hmm.
and I had to stop at the stop sign. And all of a sudden, the tree moved, and I looked. It was an ICE agent. I said, "Oh my God!" It came, and right away, that was a surreal moment for me. And then in my neighborhood, they started wrestling the people up. So no, so when you just look at the two Stevie one, oh God, I keep forgetting. Okay, never mind. Go ahead.
It's a very troubling subject. I think that if they move ahead with this, you're going to see a lot of people screaming, a lot of, because
No, it's
one
going to
thing
be a lot of innocent people dying. That's what's going to
what
happen.
what I noticed that when people get together, and there's a lot of people that
Yeah.
protest, very very civil. They follow the rules, they follow the law, and though it may be hard, they have made changes. They have forced changes to what ICE does. ICE is still ICE. They're still doing a lot of stuff. It may not get as much media attention because again, they're a little bit more discreet about what they do and how they do it.
Mhm.
There's nothing discreet about this glove, nothing at all.
Let me throw this out here. Timing is everything.
Hmm.
Timing is everything. Why all of a sudden, the closer we get to the election, the closer we get to the election, all of these wild hair schemes are being exposed. The closer, is it fear? Is it fear? And what's going to happen? Everybody ain't scared. I'm just here to tell you.
That's true.
Everybody is not scared.
That is true.
So they had better. Do you understand that there are military people who don't like what's going on? There are law enforcers from from the police department, from FBI agents. There's a lot of people that ain't happy with what's happening, and not to mention the people that got concealing carriers and the ones that you don't know got a carrier. So when you come out here, you better be willing to whatever you're gonna put up with. You better be ready. You better be ready because there's a lot of people out here that is not happy with the circumstances that's around here. So while they're thinking that they're trying to instoke fear, fear is false evidence appearing real. That's what fear is. It's false evidence appearing real. So when you come, you better come. Yeah, I think about the children of Israel, man. They were always outnumbered. But God on their side, who could be against you? Man, you better know what you're up against, and all the people that's volunteering or think they're getting paid and all this other stuff. Because uh, look at the tornadoes and the earthquakes everywhere. The atmosphere is upset. The temperature is hot. And so is the people. Look at the way people are driving. Oh God, don't get me on another subject, but yeah. So yeah, that's they better be careful with that. That's inhumane to be, and they were using that for prison.
Hmm.
So why are you would be using that on protesters? Because that's what it was said on the news that that ICE was allegedly going to be using these for protesting. We got the election coming up. And if you're already lying and saying somebody drove their car towards you when several angles of a car shows it was never coming near you. So if you already got your excuses already ready, oh yeah, okay, you better be ready. That's all I gotta say. You better be ready.
It's
All right.
true. Ooh, I
Yes.
know we have some heavy topics, but we are going to end on a very, very positive note.
Okay.
So, more men are entering nursing due to strong job stability, high earning potential with median salaries exceeding $90,000, and active recruitment by nursing schools. Men now comprise roughly 12 to 13% of registered nurses in the United States, a significant increase from past decades. What do you think about this one?
I think I believe that that's a great thing. You know that careers should not have a gender on it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got women that are doing construction now. You got people in the army, women in the army now, in the military. You know, I think that for many years, nursing was viewed mainly as a career for women. But if a man said he wanted to become a nurse, some people questioned his decision or assumed that nursing was not a masculine thing, right? And then they only use them also because they can lift up a heavy body, you know, because their dead weight can be something. But men are just as talented as women. You got women doctors, you got men doctors.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, and it's again, why are we allowing or allowing people to label us? If you can do it, do it. More power to you. I had a lady, boy, she was so mean. She was so mean. She was an elderly lady, just so mean. I had to tell her. It was a guy, nurse, administered her medicine to her. Oh, I hate him. I hate him. I said, you better be careful because you're supposed to get a pink pill. You might get a blue one. So you better be careful. And he was so professional. And I looked at him to let him know that, you know, I'm not down with what she's doing you like this young man. And yeah, so if men, that's a plus if they are able to help lift up the bodies and stuff like that. But to have that knowledge to know how to administer medication, give shots and stuff like that, man, more power to you. I hate needles.
Well,
God,
it's a huge shortage, so I think it's a great thing. Um, you know,
absolutely, brother.
there's some key factors here that are driving this: job security, high earning potential and growth, targeted recruitment, and this is actually a surprising one to me. But many men transitioning into nursing after serving as medics in the armed forces.
Okay, see,
I did not know that.
yeah.
But the other thing too is, for some male patients, it could give you a better patient rapport,
Hmm.
workforce diversity, meaning a balanced workforce. that helps address nationwide nursing shortages while bringing diverse perspective to patient outcomes. So I think that I think it's great. I think it's long overdue, and I agree with you. We need to get rid of the stigmas. Okay, just like we have men doctors and women doctors, we should have men nurses just like we have women nurses. I don't see a big deal. If you love what you do and you're doing the job right, by all means, you should be doing it.
Because, like you said, it's a shortage. And not only that, shout out to the ladies. Some of them ladies want to see a man coming in there. Not the guys always are thrilled by having the pretty nurses coming in, giving them the sponge baths and all that. The ladies want a man to touch them too. What you talking about? Sure. Shout out to the men. Come on, men nurses. And, the other thing is, uh, also, some men may also be drawn to nursing because there's so many different career paths. A nurse can work in the emergency room, operating room, intensive care unit, mental health care facility, nursing homes, military hospitals, so on and so forth. So, yeah, that has nothing. It kind of put me to the thing with the bathroom. Get that sign off the door. If it's got a toilet, let me use it. Because I'm sure I've been in men's bathroom. If I got to go and the women's bathroom is around the corner, I'm going to the men's bathroom. Hold the door. Watch the door for me. So stop all that. Stop all that, y'all.
That's true. That's true. Do you think it's going to be a lot more men getting into the field?
Oh, absolutely it is. Absolutely it is. And I pray that they do, especially knowing that there's a shortage. So yeah,
Yes.
kudos to the brothers, to the men. Kudos to the men out there because we need them.
Hmm.
Like I said, balance this thing out. Get those old ladies or those ladies in the hospital something to smile about. Because the hospital can be depressing, right? And you get somebody come in with a nice smile, and it's not necessarily a female for the female patients. Get them a man, male nurse.
There's a lot of people that like helping people, and maybe they don't want to spend 10 to 12 years in school doing it, you know?
Right.
So I think this is a great happy medium where you're doing something that you
Yeah.
love, you're helping people, and you're getting paid what a
Yeah.
good wage, a good career
Oh
that
yeah.
stabilizes your family. So I think it's definitely a great thing all the way around.
And that's one thing about nurses, period, man. I just named all the different places, but school nurses. I mean, nurses are everywhere. So
Hmm.
you would probably never run out of a job, seeking a job, being a nurse.
Oh yeah, and then don't forget there's a thing called traveling nurses too.
My
If you don't
cousin was
mind
one for
traveling,
years.
you can travel,
Yes.
help people, and make money at the same time.
Oh, she made a lot of money. Yeah, she did really well with that. Yeah.
So
Yeah, so that's really cool.
we
So,
had some great topics today.
oh yeah, up and down. But what I love about this platform, as you said earlier, man, it gives us an opportunity, man, to really just express ourselves, not out of any anger. I don't want any hate mails, and I would love to hear what our audience would say about some of these topics that we talked about. I would love to, because we always respond, even after we're done. We always still respond to some of the comments that people talk about. I mean,
Yes,
the things we talked about.
yes, definitely. We probably need to have one or two episodes where we just because we get a lot of people who comment, a
Yeah.
lot, and like I said on previous shows, I do read all of them.
Okay.
Most are really good, positive. Some are kind of out there, but when you're dealing with the public, you get the good and the bad.
Yeah.
So, you know what? That'd probably be a good episode one day to have just to talk about responses to certain shows that we've had.
Yeah, and what's on your mind? What's on your mind? Yeah. What's your thought on this? Yeah, for
Mhm.
sure.
Well, everyone, we had a great time. Please don't be shy. If you have some suggestions or even comment on what we talked about, go to all of our social media platforms on all the major ones. Let us know what you think. Also, give us some ideas too, and tell people who we are.
All right. I'm Wanda P., the host of Rock, Restore Our Communities. And please check out my new website. Go on that website and see the things that we're doing and the upcoming events that we have coming up. We'll talk more about that too with our mixer. I'm very excited. I have met so many people since we decided to do this mixer coming up. RSVP, though.
And Wanda's going to definitely share information as we get closer to it as well, too.
Yes, yes.
Well, everyone, thank you again for watching us and supporting us. I'm Lawrence Elrod.
And I'm Wanda P. Peace.
Take care, everyone. Bye.